Hi guys, how are you? My name is Titanium, founder of Investing MMT and the co-founder of Pure MMT for the 100% Beyond the Memes, along with my friend Edward Delzio, the author of The National Debit, a must-have book for anybody who wants to understand the monetary system. I also run a Patreon page, patreon.com/mindthisone, for anyone who wants to understand how the monetary system works, how the macroeconomy works in the real world, and how to apply that into investing. I also teach bare knuckle charting, which is something that I have developed over the years. Alright, so let's get started with the stock market analysis, because that's the main thing that's going on right now, and then we'll get a little bit into Bitcoin or Bitcoin. Okay, so on January 29th, I came out and I said, hey, look, things are not looking so good, and I gave a reason why. Okay. Basically interest rates are starting to push up against the earnings yield of the S&P 500. Okay, and I spelled it out for everybody. At the time, this is what the market looked like. This is the S&P 500. There was no sign whatsoever that the market was going to go down, and that's why it's important to understand not only bare knuckle charting, but you must also understand macroeconomics and the monetary system. Okay, very important that you understand these things, and in combination, contrasting the two, you come up with a very good understanding as to how to invest in the right direction. So this is what the market looked like. This was the S&P 500, and I was I was forecasting about 13% decline, and this is the NDX, and we could go as low as 16%. On that. Okay, we can actually go lower. We can go as far as like 24%, but anyway, we'll talk about that in a moment. So for you newcomers who don't know me, go back, look at my previous videos, and you will see how my calls have panned out. So eventually we did get the drop, and then I traded it both ways. I traded it down, I traded it back up. You can again go in IMMT. I post all my profits. I don't post my entries. That's only for my Patreon subscribers. That I tell when I buy and when I sell. So this is what I was showing, that the next leg was coming, and this was back on February 6th, and then eventually we did get the move down. So again, it's not a one-trick pony. It's not like I did it once and ooh, that's it. I did the same thing with Bitcoin multiple times. Go back, look at the videos, and you will see. So let's look at the stock market right now, what's going on. And before I start, number one, I get all these crazy people messaging me and coming and posting stupid posts. Okay, they don't know what the hell they're talking about on Facebook and various other places, YouTube channels and so on. Number one, don't come into my channel and start saying, well, it's been 8 years, Nick. It's 8 years. We're going to have, we're due for a recession. Right? We don't trade almanacs. People don't run around and say, hey, is it 8 years yet? Yeah, Bob, I think it is. Oh, okay. Let me look at it. Yep. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Come on. Recession time, guys. It's 8 years. I mean, where do you, are you simpletons or what? Where do you come up with these things? Why don't we just stop looking at economic data and we'll just start looking at almanacs and we'll start trading that? Go put your money where your mouth is. You'll get crushed. There's nothing wrong with the economy. This is nothing but a correction. So don't come in here. Oh, here's another one. Oh, well, technically speaking, Bob, the recovery didn't really initiate until 2011. So technically speaking, by next year we should have one. Why next year? Because it's 8 years. So people could just come up with stories, just stupid stories. Oh, the recovery didn't start in 2011. They just keep changing. Everybody wants to predict some kind of collapse and recession. Believe me, when the time comes, I'll tell you. Maybe I won't be the first one. It's okay. But I'll be the third, fourth, or fifth one. And I'll tell you when the recession is here. Facts, math, and data. This is not the crash. There is no crash. It's not coming. It's just price moved down rapidly. That's it. No big deal. Right? And if you really want to get technical about it, okay, you know where we went to? Back to, what is that? October 31st. October 31st. So what? 11% decline. Ooh, the crash is here. Neck is clear. clueless. I'm not clueless. I told you when to short it. Okay? Well, not when to short it, but urge your caution. Another one I hear. The great unwinding is becoming. The Fed is unwinding the balance sheet. Oh, everything is going to go to hell, and it's going to go to hell. It's crashing. Stupid. Stupid. There's nothing wrong with the economy. You have 4.1% unemployment. You have GDP growth going up to almost 5%. Okay? I'm not saying it's going to be sustained 5%, but it's going to 5%. You had tax cuts. A bunch of money is flowing into the functional economy. Here's another one. This is a fucking beauty. Oh, well, wage growth, Damn it. Yeah, let's sell stocks because wages are growing. Where do you guys come up with this economic stupidity? Like, where do you hear these things? Go shoot the people that tell you this thing. You're going to get more dollars in your pocket. You're going to do one of three things. One, you're going to go out and consume. 70% of consumption of GDP is consumption. 70% of GDP is consumption. Two, you'll go out and save it. That's a bad thing. That's not inflationary. Okay. Three, you'll pay down debt, private debt. That's not inflationary. Consumption. Okay, that's it. Consumption, savings, pay down debt. This is a bad thing. This is going to cause the economy to collapse. Stocks are going to crash. That's ridiculous. Just stupid. Never happened. Never happened in history. It's not going to happen now. Wage growth is the best thing that can happen to the economy. Okay? Anyone who goes out and argues that full employment and wage growth is bad, needs to go get their head examined. Inflation. What's core inflation? 1.7%. Ooh. Oh, we're going to get inflation. Good. Let's get some inflation going. Finally. Well, interest rates are inflationary. Really? Really? Why? For 2 years we've been raising rates. Where's inflation? Doesn't exist. Just a bunch of garbage and some idiot is running around trying to pretend that it's a big deal. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. Okay? People with PhDs run around. Higher rates are inflationary. They're high or what? 2 years. There's no inflation. So why are rates rising? Well, it's very simple. You're near full employment, 4.1%. And I think it's going to go to 3.8%. Okay? So of course you have to raise them. Why? Because we're going to have price stability. We can't meet demand. There's not going to be enough iPhones in the world. Not enough Fords, or Range Rovers, or Boeing airplanes, or Airbuses. Damn, I wish we had more airplanes. But just, we're constrained by airplanes. No, that's nonsense. Any kind of inflation that we do get, any GDP, it's going to be because of economic growth. This is good. Okay? There's more consumption. More things are being bought. World economy is kicking ass all over the place. It's not the end of the world. It's just the market went down fast. That's it. No big deal. A dumbass like me could tell you that it was coming. Okay? And I did tell you. And not only in stocks either. So anyway, so how low can we go? So for well, let's go from the top. Let's say it goes to the bottom of the channel. Straight line. It'll be 25%. Okay? Bear market starts at 20. Can it go to 25? Yeah, anything is possible. But more likely than not, the max you'll get is about 20%. Okay? I'm not saying it's going to be 20%, but the max you'll get. It's been 3 other times before that we came to the bottom of this trend line, and this is 1, 2, and 3. So even if we were to come all the way down here, say in a relatively fast pace, it would only be 25%. And if you did get a 25% correction, then you would only be at the start of January of 2017. Okay? Somewhere down here. No big deal. Buying opportunity. So a lot of good news came into the market. Stock market got a little bit too happy. Prices rose a little bit faster than they should have. Didn't give enough time for the companies to start producing this higher revenues, higher profits, and people just start selling, and that's fine. That's good. So what happens when price starts coming down in the stock market? Well, what happens then is the earnings yields start to rise. We used to be at 3.73. Now we're above 4%, and perhaps it will go up to 4.5% or as much as 5%. Interest rates are not going to raise to 4.5% or 5%, where they'll just continuously keep pressuring earnings yield. Therefore, the more that the market comes down, and let's hope it goes down to 20-25%. I hope it does. The more that you want to start thinking of buying, okay? Because unless there's something that I can't see and nobody else knows about, and a nuclear bomb goes off in the middle of Oklahoma or something, we're all screwed. The market will go back up. From where, I cannot tell you right now. What I can tell you is what is likely to happen in terms of charting. We know what the long-term thesis is, that eventually that whenever it finds that sweet value area, prices will start to rise. The stock market will start to rise again. For right now, we have a very simple 1, 2, 3 move down, and then we're going to get a violent move back up. So it's a 1, it's a 2, and a 3 that happened today. More likely than not, path of least resistance is further to the downside. Alternatively, what can happen if this does not take place, where you just get prices to come further down tomorrow and close somewhere in between here? You'll probably get something of a W pattern, is what I call it, where you'll get the 1, 2, 3, cross the previous low, reverse, and then go back up. Okay, we saw this in Bitcoin, where it comes down to test the previous low. Okay, comes up, tests the and breaks the previous high, and then reverses back down. Okay, something to that effect. More likely than not, next week, on a weekly basis, what you'll get is a candle bar that's probably lower. So it would look something like, let me just move this around. It will probably look something like this. Okay, on a weekly basis. All right. Now, for you newbies, don't go out there and start trying to trade this volatility, because you will get crushed. Okay, don't day trade, don't oversize and do all this crazy stuff. You're gonna crush yourself. Believe me. Okay, bear markets or correcting markets are very violent, as you've seen, and you think you're gonna get the top and the bottom, and you'll be up 1 minute and you'll be blown out the next minute. It will happen that fast. Believe me, I know. I'm not here to pump sunshine up your ass. I'm not one of those TV personalities and this guy that comes out and talks fast and shows you a Ferrari and, oh, here's a couple $100 bills, and here I rented this house and look how rich I am. It's not who I am. This is serious stuff that I do, and I do this for my subscribers. I'm doing this favor for everybody else, so you know what the hell is going on in the market, and you don't go around on Facebook saying, oh, the crash is coming, and you look like an idiot when it doesn't. So, again, I'm not the best delivery of information in terms of the way I talk, but I think it's better that I just talk in plain English so you guys understand what I'm talking about. It's more original. So anyway, let's talk about Bitcoin. All right. Previous videos, as I said, oh, what happened to my line? Let me put that back there. In previous videos, what I was talking about, and we can get rid of this line, we got the point, is that, dynamic instability. And what happens in dynamic instability is that the waves start getting smaller and smaller and then just start to accelerate to the downside. What we want to see now, because demand, believe me, nobody gives a shit about Bitcoin right now. What we're looking for now is some kind of bottom in this crypto con, okay? And I think the way it's going to come about is not necessarily that you're going to have more buyers. You won't. what you'll end up having is you'll have less sellers, and the buyers that do exist will overtake the sellers, and then you're going to see price start to rise. Okay. Again, we talked about the IFO pattern structure, where, let me just take this off, take the log off. This is IFO tower, right? It goes straight up, and then it does this M pattern, which is very cute, and then just collapses. At some point, it's going to hit a bottom, and then it's going to start to go back up. This is the dead cat bounce, and then it's going to start to roll over again. All right. So that's what I've been talking about since December 21st, when I first started doing these videos for you guys. I thought it was an important public announcement, and I did it, and yeah, here we are now. So what's going on now? I posted to my subscribers when price started to V-bottom not to chase it, and this is why. Because it did a very nice 1, 2, 3 up, but it was a 1, 2, 3 up, and it was coming up against resistance. And sure enough, you had a very nice deep pullback, you had another push higher, and now you have a double top, and now it's rolling over again. And here's the actual post. I said, Bitcoin, the big test, do not chase and buy. Okay, and now you've seen what happened since then. That price started to pull back. Again, while we're here, I'm going to plug it. $5 a month. That's it. $5. Believe me. And the only reason I charge is to keep the trolls out. That's it. All right. I'm not making money off $5. All right. So now what? Well, here's the deal. Let's see how this is going to develop. It's going to be very interesting, because there's a strong possibility right now that it's double topping, and then it's going to start to roll over and come and test the previous low. Okay. Alternatively, it can do something, like this. Sorry, like this. Okay, where you have 1, 2, 3, and then it starts going higher. Comes and tests around the 9,500 area, and it just continues up. So this would be a 1, 2, 3 up. All right. So we don't have enough information right now to make a determination. So, give it some time, let it do its thing. It's struggling right now with this resistance area. This pattern was complete. Now all we have is a 1, 2, 3, and the 3 is still ongoing. So it's a 1. Oops. Let me change that for you. So we ended the pattern. So now we have 1, 2, and I don't know what this is going to do, how deep it's going to go. Okay, let's say it comes to here, 3. Then you have this structure, which is a high base, and then if it pops out, then off we go to the 9,500 area. Alternatively, it'll just start to fade away over time and just start coming down, test the previous low, break the previous low, which was around 6,000. 5,500 was one of the targets, 5,000 around, and then we'll get the next move up. So you have a 1, 2, 3 up, something like this. Okay, and hopefully this will break out. And what do I say hopefully? Because I know there's a lot of people that are stuck in here. Thanks to Ty. Oh, hi Ty. This guy's an idiot, Oh yeah, buy the dips, buy the dips. Yeah, which dip exactly should I buy? And I keep bitching about this guy, but I don't like scam artists. Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Yeah, buy the dip into oblivion until you blow your account out. Why do you people listen to these con men? They don't have an idea of what they're talking about. But anyway, so that's my Bitcoin. Don't chase it. If it starts to break above here, let me even just put it in here now. Okay, if it starts to break out, then you can capture a very nice move to at least this area. Okay, completing the 1, 2, 3 up. That's it, guys. If you have any questions, just post them below, please. Come and join us on patreon.com/mindthisone. We do this via Facebook Messenger in real time, not like all the other experts who wait for the chart to develop and then go out and give you some cute little story about it. and claim all profits. Oh, we're all profits. Yeah, okay, sure. Not even Buffett is all profits. So you know that's a scam, right? Oh, tell me, I'll give you trading signals. I'll make you rich. Yeah, garbage. So again, come down, patreon.com/mine this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe and rate IMMT and Pure MMT for the 100%. And don't forget to buy the National Debit from my friend Edward Delzio. Again, $5 a month. Okay, that's it. All right, take care, guys. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Before this battle's over, the world will know that few stood against many.